Hello, this is Trent from the Regular Gamers with Megaman X4 doing a zero. No particular reason. Just figured I'd go just play X4 0 and thought I might as well record it. Obviously, our plans are involving having Ian do both a X and 0 playthrough of this game when Ian's original intentions were to not mess around with 0 at all, but he decided to play through both since one, Bryce and I keep referring to 0 as the better option. Oh, I guess you can actually hurt him here. But so with us speaking so highly of him, he decided to try it out, and because he was originally saying, alright, well, none of us will play 0. And I said, no, I'm not having that. I'm playing 0, absolutely. Because just playing a 0 is one of my favorite things to do in this game, in this series. Now, also, unlike Ian's playthrough of the game, I'm playing in English. Oops. What's this? Swear words in my Mega Man? I want to say they swore in the first Mega Man X game, but they really got to emphasize the difference in maturity between the series. Alright, well, that was just stupid on my part. So, my intentions for this playthrough are to just obviously play through the game, but I have some confidence in myself, a bit of possibly overconfidence, that I'm going to get through the entire game in this single sitting. Just like manage to do it in a single recording session without going too crazy with the length like we've done in the past. And this is where we're introduced to Iris, the Zero's supposed love interest that we've never heard about up until this point. And now we'll actually fight the boss from the beginning, and I'm curious to see if he actually keeps the damage he took from the beginning of the stage. Nope, so that's actually pointless. I assume that if you quote-unquote kill him in that section, he'll just level. But that doesn't... I can't imagine that really affecting this section at all. So far, one thing that we have in mind is, well, I mean, all things considered, it was kind of, I mean, Ian at least tried. He tried with, Mega Man X, and then later with, so then in the Mega Man X game, he tried fighting Sigma, but then after trying for quite a while, ended up putting it on Rookie Hunter mode. Meanwhile, after minimal effort on Bryce's part, he put it into Rookie Hunter mode for the entire game. I mean, we had already planned to let Bryce use the Ultimate Armor and Black Zero for X6, but it's just because that I at least find still makes it a challenge. But with Rookie Hunter mode, you can essentially go against any Maverick. without their weakness. There's a surprising amount of cameos in this stage, namely X1 cameos with what was mentioned before, Spark Mandrill, and also Chill Penguin in the later portion of the stage. So... oh. Every time I see the red glow from Zero's helmet at that part, I always think it's a heart tank, even though I know that it isn't the case. So I can't actually remember exactly how the X4 playthrough went, despite it not being that long ago. And but I'm not expecting this to take that long. Oh wait, I just realized, was that entire section optional? That's just the path I've always taken. So, up next we have Frost Walrus. Oh, never mind. First we have the mini-boss, I kind of forgot about that. And there's the aforementioned Chill Penguin in the back. So, basically the way things are going so far for the X series is Ian, every game he plays is a first playthrough for him. Meanwhile, for Bryce and I, well, for Bryce, every game that he plays is going to be him playing through a game he's already beaten. But for me, it's actually going to be, I've beaten most of the Megaman X games, the only exceptions being X7 and X8, which I'm only playing X8 for the recording. But while I did do a practice run for X2, I'm probably not going to do one for X5. But... oh. I didn't notice that someone had left a comment. I probably should have pulled this up, considering I'm just basically streaming the game at this point. I'll let my computer load because for some reason it's... the PS4 feels like working perfectly fine, just not the, just not my laptop. Considering we're up to 3 comments now, I'm imagining it's Ian, since he's called me twice this recording.
Ready.
I mean, it could be Bryce. Need to stop doing that. No, it was definitely Ian. I don't think I've ever seen Ian's, YouTube icon. It's actually Baby Deku from My Hero Academia. Well, not young Deku. Younger. So... Megaman X4, if I remember correctly, is the first Mega Man X game to feature a weapon sub-tank and only 2 health sub-tanks instead of what used to be 4. I really hope, for the sake of audio, that you can't hear me constantly flicking the stick and pressing the buttons. Don't worry, Ian, you are still playing this. I just figured I might as well record myself playing it, not because of any particular reason, just I felt like playing it and figured I might as well record it. Oh, that's why it felt so weird with Ian fighting Frost Walrus. He doesn't have anywhere near as long of invincibility frames when you're fighting him as Zero. Still the same attack patterns, though. It's weird that it makes the, what is it? It's weird that it makes the, like, no... The one time it didn't dash jump. Okay, it's weird that Frost Walrus makes the sound effect that it makes if you hit an enemy with a weapon that does nothing to them, as his base damage sound effect. Now, I know that the way it works with classic Mega Man is they will have contests they'll have contests where fans will make their own Robot Masters, and they take the ones that they like the best and actually put them into the game. And I'm curious if that's ever happened with Mega Man X. Because obviously there's plenty of X games that they've made where it would work. Also, I've noticed a comparison between classic Mega Man and Mega Man X, in the sense that both of them went on for 8 games, improving in graphics. So I'm curious if we're going to get an X, 9, and 10 sometime in the future that goes back to the classic sprite-based format. I'm not even gonna try with that name. So, in keeping with the way things worked with X's playthrough, I'm moving on to Jet Stingray next. He destroyed the city and escaped to the sea. I feel like at this point, ride bike sections are the Megaman X equivalent to like the Yellow Devil, disappearing, reappearing blocks, and boss rushes. Well, I mean, they have boss rushes, but in the sense that it's something that no one likes, but Capcom keeps bringing back. And I'm confused as to why. Now, I don't know about X6 or X7 and 8, but I know that, but to my knowledge, since I don't know anything about X7 or X8 and can't remember much about X6, I think I'm the one that has to do the most ride bike sections, like even if we don't count me playing this, because I had Overdrive Ostrich in X2, and then I'm going to have Squid Adler in X5, which I definitely consider Squid Adler's worse than, like, the worst in the series. Also, I am actually going to keep calling them by their original English name as opposed to their official name, just because, I mean, yes, it was a happy coincidence, but just the fact that they were named, like, their names were music references, and Mega Man is known for making music references. Since, you know, bass and treble, rock and roll, just stuff like that. Also, I just think that the names are really nice, and like, me trying to explain why I like the names is explaining why I like names. It's just subjective. Also, I just feel like it gives them more character, because it's, from what I can tell of the original names, they seemed a bit more bland in comparison. Honestly, I want to know what these things are that he shoots out of his kneecap. I just realized Jet Stingray's sound effect for shooting those out sounds a lot like Fox from Melee. And now he changes to his red variants, which, aside from shooting more, I'm actually not sure about the difference. Didn't know he had that move. I think he might have used it against Ian, I just forgot. I'm glad they didn't decide to be too ridiculous with this, and actually did give you a full heal before the boss, and they didn't actually make you fight a mini-boss in this stage. All things considered, Jet Stingray's level is the shortest in this game. It's just annoying. Which I'm thankful they didn't make it take as long as any of the other stages. feel like getting that heart tank is going to be helpful. Now, after Bryce finishes X3, there's not going to be any more cases of needing to get absolutely everything. I don't know what happened there. I just didn't press the X button. But Bryce is the last one that has to get everything in order to get a super upgrade. Ian had the Hadouken, I have the Shoryuken, and Bryce gets the golden armor. So, but after that, thankfully, well, I wouldn't have minded seeing more Street Fighter moves in Mega Man X as unlockables. I have a bit of a problem with. I almost jumped over it. I just have a bit of a problem with what was getting the Shoryuken. And I'm back here with 0 lives. I noticed that the boss fight went a bit differently, like this recording, than it normally does for me. Because he normally doesn't use the swoop move as much. I wonder if it would be fun to record Ian playing the X-Boss challenge that they put in the Legacy Collection. Yeah, this is how the fight tends to go, lean more towards. Yaku. And now I get the air dash. So next I'm going to go for Split Mushroom. I think Split Mushroom gives me the spin attack. I'm not gonna try to say the official names. So, oh, right. I was trying to remember where the heart tank was, but I definitely remember that. So, now that Zero is fully playable, one difference between him and X, aside from, you know, using the Z Saber instead of an X Buster, is that he doesn't actually get light capsules, or in most cases special weapons. What he gets are actually techniques, which don't run out of weapon energy, but in some cases, like with Jet Stingray, you don't actually get a weapon that works as a weakness, you just get a basic technique. So X gets the air dash, from a light capsule. But since Zero doesn't get light capsules, but it's still something that they wanted to give the player, he has to get them from a Maverick. Which also means that the weapon capsule is only good for one thing, being a, because Zero only gets one weapon that actually uses weapon energy. So while this is good in some cases, it's also bad in others. So it's really just a matter of, it's like, which do you consider the bigger, what is it? Which do you consider a bigger deal? Zero getting unlimited weapon energy, or Zero not having weaknesses for some Mavericks? That's one thing where it just depends on how you play the game. Do you want to play it more defensively or more offensively? Which, for me, in case that wasn't abundantly clear, I play offensively. Which also works into how X and Zero play, since Zero's the offensive character, while X is the defensive character. So one kind of weird difference between X and Zero is that when Zero swings his sword, he actually gets a bit more vertical distance with his attack range than X does. Well, since I'm at 0 lives and almost 0 health, that means that if I die to the boss now, I have to start the whole level over, which I likely will die to. But I'm not gonna give up. And that's where the spin comes from. You interested in a real challenge? Yeah, real challenge. That's why I always consider going you first. Oh wait, no, actually I get the checkpoint. So it's not the entire level. I don't know what they were thinking when they decided to make this. I mean, they were just trying to show off their technology and really kind of brag, but alright, I'm not gonna say it doesn't look impressive, but it doesn't look impressive enough to where I would have considered even trying to use it. That's just my opinion, though. So, with most of the game left to go, and me out of tangents to go on, actually, one thing that I was talking about one thing I was thinking about when I was talking about how the Mega Man series is known for music references. It actually made me think about JoJo's, with how many characters are named after user preferences. The difference being, at least for classic Mega Man, they were types of music or like things to do with music, not straight up, you know, AC/DC or Aerosmith, stuff like that. But Mega Man X5 actually, you know, has them named after actual people. Oh yeah, I do have that ability. They're so inconsistent with their spins. I don't know how they're going, whether they're going to jump or go straight. Dang it. Didn't realize that actually. Jeez. Well, time to use the weapon, or not the weapon energy, the sub-tank. I don't know what it is with the X games and just deciding to not, and just deciding to make the start of the game have the bosses do so much damage. Alright, he's dead. So, in Mega Man X4 for Ian, if I remember correctly, he's actually at the Sigma stages now. Kuenmu. What? Okay. So it is the jump slash. Next, Slash Beast. I am curious how long I've been going. Okay, it's been a little over half an hour. Second thought I might not be able to go through all of this game in a single sitting, or in a single recording session. In a single sitting, yes. I'm just not sure if I want to make a recording that long. It makes you wait so long before you can actually dash after that. Or, not dash, but move at all. There are some cases in this game where it just forces you to wait for no reason. Oh, his hitbox actually does work the right way, unlike X's. That's kind of weird. Wait, what? Do I just have a straight up double jump? I didn't know that. Well, considering I went this entire game on several occasions without even knowing I had a double jump, that's gonna really help with me playing through this game fast. Now, thankfully, unlike a certain mini-boss in Megaman X5, you don't have to worry about the game just killing you if you don't move after you beat the boss. Also, I'm surprised that Metools, because the Metools in this are always walking, they're never hiding under their helmet, so you never actually have to worry about that, about not being able to kill the Metools. Which is kind of weird considering their whole design. Now I can't remember when the heart tank comes up. I want to say it's this one. Yep. And just like that, the suit is no longer needed. But I will continue to use it as free health. Or not. I guess I was probably holding up. Oh well, I don't need it. Besides, I'm almost at the end anyways. I know, I'm pretty sure Ian's, it was either his first or second X4 playthrough that took about an hour and a half. I mean, obviously, I'm doubting whether or not I'll be able to beat the game in this recording, but for the people watching after the stream ended, you'll already know. And now it's time for the boss. The cutscene Ian thought was so cool at first, but ended up hating just because he had to watch it every time. Now, while Zero gets techniques to use against the bosses, at least in some cases, he doesn't use weapon energy, but it also means that unlike X, he can't stun lock enemies. I'm sure I can go without it. Okay, it might be good to use it just in case. Yeah, that would have been it. Now, unlike unlike previous games in the X series, at least the health bar doesn't actually refer to them as Mavericks. They're referred to as Reploids, since it's the Reploid force that we're actually fighting against in this game. And oh yeah, now I have to fight the Colonel. I'll let this play.
Colonel! What? I'm disappointed in you, Colonel. Ah! What do you think you're doing? It's not too late. Stop the coup now. Never. If that's your decision, prepare yourself!
See, it's the wording in this that makes me think maybe the Colonel did actually think that this was a peaceful meeting. He was like, oh hey, maybe Zero and I can talk things out. We've had our differences, but I'm willing to talk things out with them. And then Zero immediately starts swinging.
Very well then. I'll spare your life for now. But next time, there'll be no mercy.
Oh yeah, I was wondering about that. Zero doesn't actually fight the Colonel right now.
Someone must stop Repla Force.
Zero!
I really can't help but feel it takes away from the dramatic tension with the amount of noise that they make when they walk. Well, that happened. Now, moving on. And since this is the English version, instead of the Japanese version, it's Web Spider, not Web Spidus. Incarnations of those we see in the X series, of the little, like, police light Roombas. I think we see a Metul in every X game. Listen, we may have had the Robo-Apocalypse happen, but that doesn't mean that Metul's helmets can't protect them. And now I'm just imagining, like, the typical shot of, like, a war orphan, except it's a Metul being on a poster for, like, anti-war. I keep forgetting I just have a double jump. Apparently, the door and the robot were connected by fate. If one of them goes, so does the other. Oh, also the difference between X and Zero is Zero can actually kill the snakes from a standing position. Now I can't charge shot my way through an entire hive, but I can do this. Did Zero just say hold up? So we move on to Web Spider. See, this is definitely going along a lot faster than the start of the game. I just realized we haven't done a tabletop recording in a while. We should do some more of that. I guess if I'm going to do any VR recordings, I should do it, I might as well do it by myself, since the VR microphone cuts off the other microphone, so you can't actually hear anyone else while I have the VR on. Oh, didn't expect him to fall so close. Alright. I wanted to say Zero does more damage than X, but I can't say for sure. I mean, all things considered, Zero seems like he's in proper fighting condition, even though Bryce brutally murdered him in X3. Alright. And next, we move on to Cyber Peacock. From here on, it's just a straight shot to Magma Dragoon. So I only need the first and second. What is it? The first and second S ranks. I don't need the third. Or I can do that and not get it. Because the standing slice can't affect the orbs, but the jump slash can. Now that one was easy. So this is the one you get the light capsule for, meaning that it's not necessary for Zero to get it. Dang it. I just don't want to get through this fast, even if it's not for the S rank. What was taking him so long on that ladder? Well, I made it through. Now it's on to the other half of the stage. Alright. Well, I messed up. Okay. In terms of new series coming out for the channel, the newest one coming out that I imagine will just be more X, but I am trying to work on getting a recording software for PC. Wow. That is a terrible move. Maybe I should go to the Air Force first. I guess I can just go fight Magma Dragoon. Okay, so... So wait, do I? Okay, no, it's a dash or a double jump, not both. Alright. Oh, there's actually not a meteorite for the first one. And that's about as far as my limited commentary capabilities have carried me. Is this already the second? Wow. Well, on the bright side, doing it this way gives me another chance to S-rank the first part of Cyber Peacock's stage without having to backtrack. I just realized, I'm trying to think of the best route to take it so that you wouldn't have to backtrack at all. Wow, that is pathetic as zero. Alright, and now I have a almost full health mech to fight Magma Dragoon with. Making this boss fight a lot easier. Don't mind me and my not losing health because I have a mech. I'm just gonna run to the wall real quick, or not. What? Oh, right. Now I have to do it without the mech. Yeah, this is gonna be real fun. I don't think I actually ever fought Magma Dragoon with his weakness. I think I just used the mech for the whole thing. So I'm gonna try that again.
Ready.
Sad the health doesn't respond right there, but I hate how the mech just stops dead in its tracks once you land.
I do find it kind of weird that, like not weird for any specific reason, just of all the things that they did, they actually had him shout Street Fighter moves for all his, well, not all his attacks, but what was going? That's not helpful. Okay. Well, this is going to be difficult. Not what I wanted to do. Okay, I might be able to do this. Using bob and weave tactics. Alright, I guess I should start the fight off by dashing, but the problem is, it's hard to tell exactly when you get control of Zero. Wow, that attack is just awful. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop there for now. Well, this has been Trent from the Regular Gamers, and the fact that I'm ending this on a mission failed screen says a lot about this attempt. Yeah, this was a failure. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next time, hopefully with other people. See ya.